Hi, welcome to Rameshsoft video tutorials. In this video tutorial, we will talk about WebElement commands. That is, WebElement interface is having around 15 methods, and what is the use of each method we'll see one by one, right? So see here, so WebElement is an interface which is specially designed to perform operations on web elements. That is, whatever the operations you want to perform on that web element, like click, I want to enter data typing actions, I want to clear it, I want the tag name of the element, I want the attributes of web element, I want to check whether the element is selected or not, I want to check whether radio button is selected or not, I want to check whether the web element is displayed or not, enabled or not, I want to get the text of that method. For that we are having all these methods, they have in one interface called web element interface. Those we are calling it as a web element commands. Now see here, one by one we'll see. Number one, click method. So click is a command, that is click is a method which is present as a part of web element interface. So the precondition to use this click method is element must be visible and it must have a height and width greater than 0. Then only you can able to what? Click. Now see here, let me show one example. So let me create one class. Now I'm creating new class web element test. Now let me write the main method. Now copy paste these lines. Now see here what I'm doing. Let me enter facebook.com, right? Anything, something I want, I'm identifying WebDriver dot find element by dot, in many videos we saw, right, click operation. So something like email, something, I on this element I want to click. So this is a click method. So the precondition to use this click method is what? Element must be visible and it must should have height and width greater than 0. Next method, one more method is there. So next method is submit method. So if you want to use this submit method, compulsory that web element should have one attribute called type is equal to submit. Whenever the web element is having type is equal to submit attribute, then only we can click on that element. Otherwise submit method will not work out. That means we can able to click on the web element by using submit method if and only if the web element is having type is equal to submit attribute, then only it will work out, otherwise it won't work out. 3, clear method. So if you want to clear the field, text field, like just see here, so this is my web element, I want to clear this element, something like I'm writing here. So I want to clear this field. So already existing data is there, right? I want to clear it. I want to clear it. So to clear this text field, we are having one method called clear method. So this method we need to call on where? Web element, like this. Now see here. So on this I am calling, what is the method? Clear method. Clear method. So and fourth method is send keys method. I want to send some text to the web element, some text to the element, like I want to perform data typing actions 9177791456, like I want to perform data typing actions. If you want to perform data typing actions in web element, we have one command, we have a method called, what is that method? Send keys method. We saw in a lot of videos, right? Just observe here. So on this element I want to perform send keys. Now I'm entering Rameshsoft dot Selenium. Just observe here, let me run this program. So even in previous video we saw in how many ways we can perform data typing actions. A lot of different ways are there, right? Yes. So people who don't know, just watch my previous videos. See here, this is one approach to enter the data, that is to perform data typing actions. This is one approach by using send keys method. And the fifth one, suppose I want to know the tag name of a web element. For that, this interface is having one method called get tag name. So whenever we call get tag name method, it is going to identify the tag name and it returns the tag name in the form of string. Just observe here, this element is starting with what's the tag name. Now see here, this element is starting with what's the tag name, input. Now see here what I'm doing. So let me remove this one as of now. So then it's going to identify web element something email, right? Now see, I want to know this web element is starting with what is the tag name. For that, web element is having one method called email.webelement.get tag name. It is going to return a tag name of this element, this web element in the form of string. Now see here, so I'm writing here string tag name. Now let me print on the console SYSO off. So don't use system.out.println. So watch my video about log4j. Just use log4j because in the real time there is no kind of system.out.println. We need to use log4j. Tag name of the element is, so what is the tag name of the element? Tag name. Just over here. Now let me run this program. Right click, run as Java application. So we should see input. The tag name is input. Just see the console. So what's output we are getting? Yes. Now see here, tag name of the element is what? Input, right? And one more method we are having. Suppose I want attributes of an element. Like I want attributes of element. For that, we are having one method called get attribute. So it's always ask you attribute name in the form of string. If you pass corresponding attribute name, it returns that attribute value in the form of string. So first of all, what is attribute, right? Just see here. See here. So input is the what? Here tag name. Type is the what? Type attribute name. Email is what? Attribute value. So here class is there, right? Attribute name. This is what? Attribute value. Name is what? Attribute name. Email is what? Attribute value. ID is there, right? What is this ID? Attribute name. Email is what? Attribute value, right? So if I give attribute name like ID, like a class, like a type, my get attribute method will give the corresponding value in the form of string, right? Now see here what I'm doing. Now just observe here what I'm doing. Now see here, on this element, on email web element, I am calling get attribute. So I am passing attribute as a ID. So on this email web element is having any attribute called ID? Yes, it is having attribute called what? ID. So expected what I should get the value, what I should see the value in the console, email. Now see here, so it is going to return that value in the form of string. That is, I am calling get attribute method on where? Email. Email is of type what? Web element. This web element is having any attribute called ID? Yes, sir. It is going to return that attribute value in the form of what? String. So this web element is having attribute called ID. This ID is having what is the value? This ID is having what is the value? Email. So this email it is going to return in the form of string. In the same way, let me write one more. Email dot get attribute of, I am writing here class. Now it is going to return class attribute value in the form of string class. Now see here, let me print this to SYSO of ID is plus ID plus and class is plus class. Now just observe here. So if I run this program, see here what is output I am going to get it. See here, So here my element is having class is equal to what is that? Input text. What is the ID? Email, and tag name is what? Input. Now see here, if I trigger this program, right click, run as Java application. Just see the output. Yes. Now see here, what is the tag name I am getting? Input, right? So what is the ID is having? Email, and what is the class is having? Input text. So this is the use of what? This is the use of get attribute. That is, get attribute is a method which is there as a part of WebElement interface. Whenever you want to get the attributes of a WebElement, we need to call attribute. So this get attribute method always asks you attribute name. If you pass attribute name, it will give the corresponding attribute values in the form of string. Now next one. So one more method is there. So seventh one, boolean is selected method. Suppose I want to check my radio button is selected or not, right? So if you want to check whether the radio button is selected or not, we can use what is the method? Is selected method. If it is selected, it returns true, else this method returns false. Now see here, this is my radio button, right? Now let me identify this one. Right click, inspect element. Now see here, so what is the ID it is having? U_0_7. Let's identify this one. So let me remove all those things. Now web element by ID. Yes. Now see here, so I want to check it whether this element is selected or not. If you want to check it, so email dot is selected, because that radio button, right? So we can apply is selected method for either radio buttons or checkboxes. Is selected. If it is selected, it returns what? True. If it is true means what I am doing, see here, radio button is selected. Else SYSO of radio button is not selected. Is not selected. It means is selected is a method. We can apply is selected method for radio buttons and checkboxes. If the web element, if the radio button or checkbox is selected, this method returns true, and if it is not selected, this method returns false. That is selected method is always returns boolean value. Now see here what I am doing. Just see here. So here in our case, our button is selected, our radio button female is selected here, no, right? So our radio button female is not selected, so it should return what? False. That means it should execute what is the statement? Radio button is not selected, because I am not selected anything. Now see here, right click, run as Java application. Here I am not doing any validations. Compulsory we should do the validations, pre-validations and post-validations we should do it. See here, so radio button is what? Not selected, because I didn't click on it. Now what I am doing, just observe here. Now I am doing female dot click. Now see here what I am doing. Now I am clicked on, right? So it should give what? Radio button is selected. Now right click, run as Java application. Java application. Just see the screen what is happening. Now see here. Now it is selected or not? Yes sir. Now observe here, radio button is what? Selected. So this is the use of is selected method. That is selected is a method which we can apply only on radio buttons and checkboxes. So if the radio button and checkboxes is selected, then it returns true, else it returns false. That is selected method is always returns boolean value. And next method is boolean is displayed method, and one more is boolean is enabled method. That is, if you want to check, because before we perform any actions, compulsory we must and should do the validations, because validation is very important for our scripting. So I want to check before I perform some action, I want to check it. My web element is displayed or not, my web element is enabled or not. I want to check it. That means isDisplayed is a method. Whenever we are calling isDisplayed method on any web element, if the web element is displayed, then this method returns true, and if it is not displayed, then this method returns false. And isEnabled is a method. We can apply this on any web element, and if the web element is enabled, then this method returns true, otherwise this method returns false. Now see here, let me do it. Let me implement this one. See here. So what I'm doing is I don't want to directly click on this radio button, this female radio button. Now see here, what I'm doing, I'm checking if female radio button is displayed and female radio button is enabled, then what I'm telling, click on it, else don't click on it, then click on it. Else here I'm running some statements. SYSO of not clicked on not clicked on radio button. Here instead of not clicked on using this one, we need to throw the exception. So in the coming videos we'll talk how to create our own exceptions and how to throw the exceptions at framework level. So we'll design and all those things in our framework, okay? Because in the real time we should not write the scripting in this way. Here we are hard coding everything. No, everything we need to get it done dynamically, right? So these methods, this is not the way to launch the browser, these are not the way to do the programming, this is not the way to enter the URLs. We should not write our, you need to make your test case should be what? Very independent, right? Now see here, so if the web element is displayed and enabled, then what? It will click on this element. Yes. So this is the way to perform a click, right? Next one. So one more method we are having, getText method. getText method. So if you want to get the text of the web element, so we are having one method called getText method. Whenever we call getText method on any web element, if the web element is having text, it returns the text in the form of web element. Now see here, this input, this element is having any text? No, that's why we are not going to get what? Any text. So if it is having, it will give the what? Text. But let me write it. See here what I'm doing. Now see here. So I'm writing female dot get text. Now whenever I call getText method on any web element, it returns that text element in the form of string. Now SYSO of text of the web element is plus what is that? Text. Now see here, so what is text means, just see here, text should be there as a part of this one. Now see here, let me check this one. This is not having no text. Now let me open any other one. I'll show you how the text it means. Bing.com, let me open. Now see here, right click on inspect element. Now see here, so this is having text, right? So this MSN is there, right? This MSN is not an attribute, this is not a attribute value, it is a what? Text. Now see here, this is what? Text. But my web element is having any text, this Facebook username, no, that's why I'm going to get what? Nothing. See here, right click, run as Java application. If it is there, it will return the text in the form of string. If it is not there, it will give nothing. Now see here, actually our element is not having anything, right? That's why we are not going to get anything. Now see here, nothing is not there, right? Yes. And next one, this web element is having one more method called find element method. Find element method. We know that find element is a method which is there in WebDriver, search context interface as well as web element interface. Now see here, whenever we call WebDriver find element method, it is going to check that element in the total DOM. But whenever we are calling find element method of web element, whenever we are calling web element interface find element method, it will check only on that particular web element. Now see here what I'm doing. So WebDriver dot find element by dot. Now see here, let's check, let's open gmail.com. Now what I'm doing, just observe here gmail.com, or else Facebook, take Facebook. In that we are having multiple elements. Yes, see here, let me take this one, let me take this drop down. So now here it is having what is the ID, day, right? Now see here, this select to drop down is having multiple elements or not? Yes. Now see here, now by dot ID, control B, now I'm going to get what? Web element. So web element, so day web element. Now see here, now what I'm doing, on this day dot find element by dot something ID, I'm giving ID as a day. Now see here what happens, ID as day. Now just observe here, I'll tell you the difference of find element method of WebDriver interface and find element method of WebElement interface. Now have you observed, I am calling find element method on WebDriver. So whenever I am calling find element method on WebDriver, it will go and check into total term. Is there any web element with ID is equal to day? Yes, sir. But here I am calling find element method on where day. Day is of type what? Web element. So here I am calling find element method on where? Web element. Whenever I am calling find element method on web element, it won't go and check into total page. It will go and check into only into this web element. So in my page day is there, it's going to be identified. But in my day web element, is there any attribute with ID is equal to day? It is not there. See here. So into this drop down, is there any day? It is there. Is there an ID is equal to day? Is there? Not there. Now see here. Let me run it. What happens? Just observe here. Right click, run as Java application. Just observe here. What happens? See here, we'll get exception. So day one dot click. Now right click, run as Java application. Just over here what happens. So see here, so it is having all child, right? Option, value, something, etc. Now see here what I'm doing into this. So I want to go with like X path, and here I'm writing / star text. Text is equal to, so what is the text it is having? I'm giving as a 2. Just over here, close it. Now on this I want to perform click. Now see here, so with this one it's going to identify the element, and whenever I'm calling find element on the web element, into this web element it is going to check, is there any web element in this text is equal to? Yes, it is there. On that one it is going to click, run as Java application. Now see here, it is selected what? Second, right? So this is the use of find element method of web element interface. And one more method is having list of web element and find elements by. Now find element method is there in web search context as well as web element interface. So whenever we are calling find elements on the web element, it is going to look only into that web element. Now see here what I'm doing. So instead of calling here find element, I am calling find elements by dot tag name. So what is the tag name? It is starting, just let me check it. Now here it is going to return list of elements. In the coming videos we'll talk. So what is the list? What is list of elements? What is generics and regular expressions? How we need to use in our framework level? How we need to implement all those things we'll see. So why this is going to be written only list? Why can't we write in set map etc. We'll talk right now. So what is the tag name? It is starting, just observe here. So it's starting with what is the tag name? Option right. Now see here, get all the elements that are starting with what? Option. Means it is going to check, right? Yes. Now see here. So in this web element, in this day web element, it means in this web element, it is going to find all the elements which are starting with what? Tag name option. Now see here, how many are there? All I am going to get it. Now here I am writing SYSO of number of elements in day drop down is plus so day 1 dot size. Now see here, right click, run as Java application. Now it's going to check in the drop down how many elements that are starting with option tag name. So I'm going to get all the elements. See here, how many are there? 32 are there. So 32 I'm getting or not? Yes. Find elements method, in this way also we can use it. That is find elements method is there as a part of search context interface. Find elements method is there as a part of web element interface. So whenever we are calling find elements method on the driver, it is going to check in the total page of particular elements. Whenever we are calling find elements method, it is checking only in this web element how many elements are starting tag name with option. That only we are going to get it, right? And next one more method is there, get location method. Get a location method. So by using get location method, that is it returns a pointer containing the location of the top left hand corner of the element. It means just let me write a sample program so that you people can get very easily. Now see here what I'm doing, day dot get location dot I want to get their locations x, right? Now let me print this one as a part of SYSO statements. Now shift and now the same way get x y values, y coordinates, yeah, right, what y. Now see here, if I run this program, it returns a point containing the location of the top left hand corner of the element. Now see here, right click, run as Java application. Just observe the screen, what is going to happen. Just observe the screen. Now see here, yes, now see here 598 and 387. Now one more method is there, get size method. So if you want to return the size of the element on the page, right, then we can call get size method. Now see here what I am doing, SYSO of day dot I am calling get size method. Get size dot I want their height and width. So this is height and write one more, control V, height. Now write what, width. Now this over here. So if I run this program, see here what happens, right click, run as Java application. Yes, now see here, so what is the height, 30 and width is 58, right? So this is the one way to use. So to use height and width of an element. If you want to know the height and width of a web element, we are having a method called get size. In this we are having a method called get x and get y methods to get the size and width of element. And one more method is there. So what is that method? Means get css value, get css value. See here, get a css value. So it returns that value in the form of string. Suppose if you want to verify color of the web element, something like we can use get css value. See here, suppose see here, so here this is the element is there, right? See here, is it having any color? Something like I want to verify font size, I want to verify height, I want to verify padding, and I want to check for color, right? Color, something like height, width, something. Now see here, control C. Now here on this call, what t dot get a css value. Now here just pass the values, so it is going to return that height of the element in the form of string css, right? If you want to validate the colors and all those things, yes, we can go for what, get css value. Okay, so these are the different methods which is there as a part of web element interface, right? Those we can also call as a web element commands. Thanks for watching the video. Have a good day. Thank you so much.